My name is Sydney, and this week I'm going to be talking about the different struggles of being gay in our society, and more specifically in America. So, in history class, we recently watched a video that sort of just overall gave different examples of gay Americans being tormented based upon their personal decisions to lead a gay lifestyle. And one particular example really struck me. It was about a gay man living in a normal community, and he was open about his lifestyle to his family, his friends, and basically the whole community. He was happy being a gay man. He didn't see anything wrong with it, not that he should. And, he was just trying to live his everyday life. So one day, one of his friends and another man took him into the woods and actually murdered him for being gay, and we later discovered that one of the men, of which was his friend, took part in this not only because he felt that the man should die for being gay, but also because he was trying to fight off some of his own urges of homosexuality that he didn't exactly know how to cope with. And this later raised the question in class of, does one choose which partner they're attracted to, or is it biology? Are we born liking the same sex, liking different sexes, or both, or is it something that later in life we kind of come along to choose? And, it's puzzling because how could anyone ever think that choosing a sexual partner is actually something we consciously do? Once you come of the age and you sort of start getting urges towards whichever gender, it's a very natural process, and it doesn't seem forced at all. But for some people, the idea of choosing a mate is rather stressful because there's a lot of added pressure from society nowadays that, oh, you have to be a manly man, you have to be this, you have to be that, you're a fag if you do this, all these other things adding up, and people have painted a very ugly picture of the gay lifestyle, making it seem as though these natural urges are wrong, and it's wrong to have feelings for another man or another woman if you are a man or woman liking the same sex, therefore leading the youth into a very depressing and alone state because people are feeling as though they have nowhere to go and that these feelings should be shunned and done away with. So, they remove themselves from these urges and try to live a life that's a lie. And I think it's interesting that our society is now putting more pressure on these young people to choose whatever lifestyle that they think is right. And the older generation shouldn't be putting pressure on our current generation or the generations to come on which sexual partners they choose, because this is nothing that we are consciously deciding. This is just, what we were born, it's in our genetics. It's nothing that we have taken the time to think about and pan out whether it would be easier for us to like men or women, same sex, different sex, or both. It's just something that happens. And I think this is really hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around, because a lot of people, for some reason, just aren't okay with the idea that their child is different, or that their neighbor, their brother, their sister, their best friend, their teacher, whoever it may be, is different from them. And if we root in our children and other young people that being gay is somehow wrong, then this idea is going to carry on for generations, therefore leaving the gay population to have to go through this everyday struggle on their own and have to, somehow figure out how to get through this world without being tormented, without feeling the need to commit suicide, without possibly being murdered unjustly. And the idea that somebody has to go through everyday life thinking about these things is tormenting. I can't imagine having my path in life completely disrupted because another person who I may not even know has decided that my life decision is wrong, to decide that something that I deemed natural wrong, that is uncalled for. And nobody should have to go through life inside, per se, a closet, trying to hide who they are from the rest of the world. because we only have one shot at this life, and if your path is so cluttered and, so swept to the side, how can you really live out what you're supposed to be? Picking a mate is one of, if not the, most important decision we'll make in our lifetime, and to think that some people have to have their choice for that influenced by complete strangers or just random people in society that are telling them that being gay is wrong is just absolutely shattering. I can't imagine having to go through life pretending to be something I'm not, simply because I know that if I don't act that, simply because I feel that if I don't act that way, I'm going to be completely beat down. And we really need to protect the gay community and make them know that it's okay and everything is going to be okay. And that one day, hopefully, and thanks to our generation, we will be able to accept each other for who we are instead of, the lifestyles that we aren't necessarily used to or haven't ever been used to because of past generations. And I think the sooner we grip the notion that people aren't the same, people are different. We have different skin colors, we practice different religions, and yes, we like different sexes. That's not going to change, People don't choose their ethnicity, and people don't choose who they're attracted to. It just happens, It just happens. And I think that's something that we all need to think about, because people are going through everyday life feeling like they're not worth it and feeling like they don't deserve to live, and that's not fair, because they do deserve to live. And nobody has the right to take somebody's life, and nobody has the right to tell somebody that they don't have a place on this earth. So that's all for this week. Thank you.